If you've been asking yourself what is actually happening in the Las Vegas real estate market right now, I have your answer. And this week, the data is telling a really interesting story. Every week, I pull the Las Vegas real estate data and tell you what it actually means. I'm Dorthy Sierra, your go-to girl for Las Vegas real estate. And this week, the numbers are worth paying attention to. Sold volume just hit the highest point we've seen all year. So let's get into it. So, what is the Las Vegas housing market doing right now? Well, the headline for the week ending May 3rd, 2026, 755 homes closed. That is the highest number of sold homes in a single week that we've seen all year in Las Vegas. Alongside that, 703 homes went under contract, also one of the highest under contract numbers we've seen in 2026. That's your pipeline. Those are closings that will show up in the next week's and the week after's data. And what does a high sold volume and high under contract number tell us about the Las Vegas real estate market? It tells us that buyer demand is real, deals are getting done, and we are firmly in the heart of spring selling season. New listings came in at 972 this week, up slightly from 941 the prior week, and that's healthy. Not a flood of inventory that would pressure prices down, and not a shortage that would cause buyers to panic offer. The Las Vegas housing market right now is finding its rhythm. So I want to spend a little extra time on days on market because this is the kind of thing I think is really important for both buyers and sellers in Las Vegas to understand. Days on market. And for anyone new, days on market is the average number of days a home sits listed on the market before going under contract. And that number jumped this week from 30 days last week to 46 days this week. What does an increase in days on market mean for the Las Vegas real estate market? Well, here's my honest take. I don't think this is a red flag yet. My read is that we're likely seeing a mix, some older, slower moving inventory that finally closed this week. This pulls the average upward, and when you have a week with 755 closings, some of those will naturally be homes that took a while to sell. But here's why I'm watching it. If days on market continues to climb over the next 2 to 3 weeks, that would be a meaningful signal that buyer urgency is softening. And when that happens, leverage starts to shift away from sellers and toward buyers. For sellers in Las Vegas right now, the message is this. Homes that are priced correctly and well presented are still moving. And if your home is sitting on the market longer than expected, it's a pricing conversation and it's a fixable problem. The market is not broken. The strategy just needs adjusting. Now let's talk about Las Vegas home prices because this is the question I get most often. Are prices dropping in Las Vegas? And here's the data. The median sales price for a single family home in Las Vegas this week came in at $489,000. Last week it was $490,000. It's essentially flat, just a $1,000 difference. And when I look at the last several weeks of data, the Las Vegas home prices have stayed in a range between $460,000 and $490,000. Price stability, not a market in free fall, and not a market spiking upward. It's a balanced, healthy range. For homeowners in Las Vegas wondering whether their home value is holding, yes. The data says yes, at least at the median level. Individual neighborhoods can vary, which is why a neighborhood-specific analysis matters when you're making a real decision. On the luxury end of the Las Vegas real estate market, the most expensive home to close this week sold for $10.5 million. That's up from $6.5 million last week. The upper end of this market, the $2 million plus range, continues to be active, and that's a positive signal for the overall health of the Las Vegas housing market. And a few more data points that are specifically relevant if you're thinking about selling your Las Vegas home. Withdrawals. That's the number of listings that sellers pulled off the market without selling. That number dropped significantly this week. 334 withdrawn listings versus 441 the week before. That's a 24% decline. And what does a drop in withdrawn listings tell us? It tells us that seller confidence is building. Fewer people are giving up on their listings, and that's a healthy sign. Price reductions also came in slightly lower this week, 1,044 versus 1,092 the prior week. Still a meaningful number in an absolute terms, but the direction is moving the right way. So if you're asking, is now a good time to sell a home in Las Vegas? Here's how I would think about it. Buyer demand is strong, sold volume is at a yearly high, prices are stable and seller confidence is rising. The fundamentals are definitely in your favor. The key is entering the market with the right pricing strategy and the right presentation, because buyers have more option than they did a year ago, and they will choose the home that is positioned the best. And if you're on the other side of the coin, what does the Las Vegas real estate market look like for buyers right now? Well, you have more choices than you did 6 months ago. Inventory is building at a measured pace, and while prices haven't dropped significantly, they are also not running away from you. The watch item for buyers is days on market, and if that number continues to rise, it signals a little more negotiating room, potentially on price, on closing costs, on repairs. It's definitely a number to keep watching. And if you're buying in the Summerlin, Henderson, or Centennial Hills areas, those neighborhoods move differently from each other, and your strategy should reflect that. Here's my take on the bottom line for the Las Vegas real estate market for the week ending May 3rd of 2026. Sold volume is at a yearly high. Buyer demand is active. Home prices are stable. Seller confidence is rising, and the one number to watch is days on market. It ticked up this week in a way that deserves attention, but not alarm. This is a market where having the right strategy makes a difference, not because it's chaotic, but because the details matter. And whether you're selling a home in Summerlin, buying in Henderson, or making a move-up decision in the $700,000 to $2 million price range, the plan you go in with shapes the outcome you get. And that's exactly what I do. If you want to sit down or get on a call and talk through your specific situation, I'll put a link in the description to schedule a complimentary strategy session. I'd be happy to give you my honest opinion. And if this breakdown was helpful, please subscribe. I do this every single week. Same time, same format, current data. No fluff, no hype, just the Las Vegas real estate market explained for you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.